Right, it's quite a simple concept when you understand it. People have got such a varied view or a varied idea. In many cases, their ideas are what other people have imposed upon them. And a lot of people just don't sit back and think carefully. If you're talking about what an alien is, right, you've got to look at that word alien. Where does it come from? And of course, the other word that links into alien is extraterrestrial. So when you begin to look around, you'll find that those words become more extensive. And our knowledge grows with understanding by just investigating the words. So an alien is an extraterrestrial. So where does that come from? Well, it comes from the planet. We're standing on a beautiful planet. The name of the planet, of course, we call the Earth. Now, each religion throughout the whole planet has different names for the Earth. There are many names: Gaia, Shekinah, Shakti. The Egyptian called it Isis. We, of course, call it Mother Mary. Excuse me, we, when I say we? Mother Mary is the name of this planet, created by, of course, the Christian hierarchy. That's who they call the planet, Mother Mary, which changes all the belief systems straight away. So why do the Christian hierarchy call it Mother Mary and don't tell us? Because, of course, that is the reality of the feminine energy, or the Earth Goddess. So, of course, what do the scientists call the planet? They call it terra firma. That makes the people born on this planet, you and me, terrestrial beings, because we are actually born on this planet. So therefore, anybody not born on the planet is an extraterrestrial, of which another word for an extraterrestrial, of course, is alien. So when you understand that, it comes to that point of view, you realise that many aspects of what we've been told. Now look at the societies and civilizations that lived on this planet. Those that have gone and some of those that's around and many. Every single civilization basically has got a creation story. A creation story. Who made, where everything came from. And basically, the creation stories are all the same. They tell you of angels, archangels and gods who came down in whirlwinds, fiery chariots, light beings, houses that moved, wing discs, solar discs. These beings came to assist mankind. Quetzalcoatl gave us agriculture, the ability to grow crops and, of course, clothing. And, of course, Egypt, Thoth, the architect of the universe, according to the Masons, gave us writing and the ability to understand via hieroglyphics and drawings. The Hebrew gods gave us commandments. Thou shalt not, thou shalt do this. And, of course, when you look carefully at all of these aspects, they all tell you the same thing. And, of course, so where do these angels, archangels and gods come from? They come down from above. So they're not on this planet. Therefore, all the angels, archangels and gods that we all worship in all of our universities, in our religions and our schools and churches, are actually extraterrestrial beings not born on this planet. They're aliens. So, of course, when somebody says to me, do aliens exist? I laugh at them. Of course they exist. Right? Everyone on the world tells you about it. Some people believe so adamantly in the realities of religious belief systems that they're prepared to commit genocide and mass murder to maintain their own personal points of view. ETs, aliens. People don't even know what their own bodies are. How can we tell people or explain to people what something else is above and beyond their comprehension when they're not even aware of themselves? You ask most people how many actual physical bodies they've got, and they'll say one. Yet if we look back in time, we'll find out that in the past, people believed that there was a physical body and then there was a soul inside it, making two. So the word out-of-body experience suddenly becomes more real. So it shows you've got more than one body, the very words, because out-of-body means that's not you in the body, you're out of it. And in all out-of-body or near-death experiences, people observe their empty body, which means it's not them. And of course, that shows you we have many more bodies than just one. That also begins to explain the paranormal, because we can explain all the paranormal aspects that we believe is beyond our comprehension, because we have the information now. So in the past we believed there was one body, then two, and then we realised that the soul that inhabits the body, which we call the soul, is actually in communication. It hears voices and words. So we called it mind, body and spirit. Merkaba, as the Egyptians call it. And we are Merkaba, mind, body and spirit. Now we're far more advanced than that. And we realise that the physical body is actually made up of elements. And you've got 4 physical bodies that vibrate at different frequencies above and beyond the range of the reception capabilities of our 5 limited senses. So we don't actually hear, see, feel and touch our other bodies because they're vibrating to a higher frequency. So what exists above the range of our eyes? When we only see 3% of the light in the room, because of course if we put you in a black room, you wouldn't see anything, but if we gave you ultraviolet or infrared glasses, you would. We see 3% of the light and sound that exists in the space in the same time. We're very limited in our consciousness. So how and where would any extraterrestrial life form be? Well, certainly not in this vibration frequency, because of course you couldn't leave them in the human body. Because today our violent nature is so bad that we would attack anything that doesn't fit us in. You ask most people how many actual physical bodies they've got, and they'll say 1. Yet if we look back in time, we'll find out that in the past, people believed that there was a physical body, and then there was a soul inside it, making 2. So the word out-of-body experience suddenly becomes more real. So it shows you've got more than 1 body, the very words, because out-of-body means that's not you in the body, you're out of it. And in all out-of-body or near-death experiences, people observe their empty body, which means it's not them. And of course, that shows you we have many more bodies than just 1. Let's look at the size of the universe and the concept that reality is. I've been asked many times, is there more than 1 species of ET? Of course there's more than 1 species of ET. Look around you. This planet has thousands of life forms. All the different types of life forms here, the DNA for most of these has come from extraterrestrial sources. The ETs have donated their DNA for the benefit of mankind and all the other fauna and flora on this planet. ETs exist in every form and every style you can imagine. As I said before, you don't even know what your human body is. I'll ask you this question and look at this carefully. What would you get if you crossed a lion with an ape? And the answer is the human early hominoids. That's why females, lionesses, don't have beards. That's why you've got canines. That's why, of course, the men's beards or the manes only appear when they're adult. And on the back of your skull, you've got a little knurled bone at the top of your spine, which allows your head to bend down from being on all 4s. And if you travel down to the other end of your spine, you'll find there you've got the remains of a tail. And of course, you've got every attribute, both lion and ape. And if you think that's a far-fetched story, just have a look carefully. You see, a long time ago, we ran out of food on the planet. So the genetic engineers who crossed the lion with the ape, crossed the human being with a warthog, what would they make? Well, I'll tell you, it's already been done. Have a good look around and have a look at a being that's got the same aspect of the skin that we have. So we have to put sun cream on the skin of pigs, domesticated pigs. Why? Because they're half human. Did you know the pig has every organ inside exactly the same as a human body? Which is why the military use them for bayonet practice, because the resistance within a pig is exactly the same. And of course, that's why we can take heart valves and insulin out of them. And they're not rejected by the human body because they're half human. And of course, we can't take the heart valves or any other parts out of us. They're from apes, orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, the things we're supposed to have evolved from. It's a lie. And of course, the Hebrews and Muslims are quite well aware of this. And in many cases will tell you they don't heat the pig because, of course, they're half human. They're our brothers and sisters. And the cannibals tell you we taste like pork and call us white-lunged pig. So let's have a look at the other animals on the planet. Well, everything's made. Everything is made from DNA combinations. Isn't that what it tells us in the Bible? Did not he tell one gentleman to take the animals, split them in half and lay them side by side? Is that not an inclination to show you the genetic engineering and the making of different species? Side by side, cut in half, Abraham. And then you understand that Abraham was Abraham, beloved of Mary the earth. And as I told you before, Mother Mary is the name of this planet. Then we start to realise terror amongst many names. So, if you want other animals, well, just look at a rabbit. Take the back legs off a kangaroo, the body off a cat, the head off a pack rat, and the ears and the digestive system off an elephant, and you've got your rabbit. And if you look at all the other combinations, you can start to suddenly work out what bit came from which to make which animal. You see, they took the bill off a duck and stuck it on a platypus, and it survived. Fantastic experiment, that. Beautiful creature. So what do you think the ETs look like? From species from planets a million times bigger, far more older than this Earth is. This is only a baby solar system and baby planet compared to the rest. They've crossed every type of DNA with every other type to hold the energy of the physical body, or the real you, the personality, held within the body for lessons of evolution and consciousness. The human body is a computer, as all the ETs are computers. The ETs will only appear on the planet when we're ready for them, when we are going to welcome them with love and compassion, and not to attack them savagely. Right? The planet Nibiru will return. Nibiru, of course, is the 12th planet in this solar system, spoken of and mentioned by the aspects of the earlier civilizations, particularly the Sumerians. And of course, when Nibiru returns, you're going to have the return of the consciousness of all that is. And then we're going to find out the truth. So the lies that we've been encompassed in, and we take on our own personal sovereignty and our, of course, the pollution on the planet, which has been deliberately, in many cases, investigated and influenced to a greater level by those in power to stop the average person activating part of their consciousness. When we realise the control that we're all being under, and how we've been lied to and twisted, and of course, covered up, the UFO presence, the alien presence, our true history, where we come from, what we are, and where we're going, will soon show. And as it's beginning to wake up now, as more people are beginning to realise the illusion we live in and the lies. Many people ask me, have I seen a UFO or had any communication with extraterrestrials? Well, I've stopped counting the number of UFOs I've seen. On many, many occasions, along with many, many witnesses, I've seen so many that can't possibly fit into the technology that we're given away as reality. Several of which I know move at such speeds and trajectories and so quick and so fast that our now modern technology, or the technology hidden by our governments, couldn't possibly create what's been happening. Have I met ETs? Yes. I've actually met one face to face, in this dimension, as solid as you and I, in the levels. That occurred to me in my house when I lived in Wales. Since then, on many occasions, I've learnt about my true bodies, my number of vibrations, and I understand how the governments of both America and Russia and Britain and Israel have spent a great deal of money in learning how to do what they call remote viewing, which is detaching your consciousness from your physical body and travelling in space to other dimensions and then bringing the information back. Depends how much consciousness you take out of your body and project it in astral projection or remote viewing, whichever way you want to go. That's the reality. And in the higher vibrational frequencies, which is the real vibrational frequencies of existence, you can actually travel the universe. Of course, only when you're capable and when you are a person who is in charge of yourself, who has controlled your desires and is in charge of yourself without any crutches and not capable of the destructive elements that mankind's unfortunately got. We are today encouraged. Everyone speaks to ETs. You call them guardian angels. You have guides with you, assisting you in higher frequencies. When people turn around and say, do you get any help? Well, every single person that gets inspiration gets help. Where do you think the inspiration comes from? The musician who's suddenly thinking of something and then it comes and says, I'm inspired to do this. Where do you think the inspiring comes from? It comes from higher dimensions of themselves, being guided from higher frequencies by ETs, guardian angels, or other consciousness levels above and beyond the range of our normal receptive capabilities. The channelers pick up information. The mediums also communicate with beings who are no longer in their physical body. You call them ghosts. They're not actually ghosts, they're just beings in other bodies. Because when you know you've got more than one body, and the only one that physically dies is the outer one, the solid one, which of course we then leave, and then we reincarnate again, to live again, to learn the experiences. Which is why our brain is only activated to a small amount. And then you begin to realise that we're limited in consciousness. And why are we limited in consciousness? So we can experience being separate from all there is. And of course, all there is every single thing, which includes you. And the creation force that makes everything is actually explained in great detail in the ancient monuments and the ancient books. Because our whole history, as we are being shown and being taught, doesn't match the archaeology of the stones. So who's telling us lies? The people who give us the stories, who perpetuate myths and legends. Myths and legends that we've only got one body. Myths and legends that pyramids are tombs for pharaohs. that we evolved on this planet from 4 to 6,000 BC. All lies. The archaeology of the stones gives us a totally different picture. And when you start to see through the cracks of the controlling elements, your mind starts to awaken. And when, of course, you realise everything's done for you, that everything around you, all the déjà vu, all the coincidences are done for your benefit, you realise that the beings that are looking after us are part of us. And of course, we are part of all them. And you're going to find out that the beings that we've been classified and given to us as aliens, destruction, where our government have portrayed them in the films and things, are ETs. No, that's not the reality. The reality in the higher vibrational frequencies is pure unconditional love. And you'll find out that the benevolent aptitude of most of the extraterrestrial capabilities and visitations is soon going to be shown, to find out that the real negative elements are those that have the power, who do not wish to share, who do not wish to give up their positions of power and wealth which they've had for thousands of years.